Okay, I'm not gonna bury the lead here. These Buds 2 are really good. So good, in fact, that some people are calling them the best buds, but to be honest, the only best buds are me and Andrew. In all seriousness, these buds are really good that these are the new buds that I recommend for Android users. I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and if you love content from the smart home to the smartphone, make sure you hit subscribe from my link down below. Samsung has been making truly wireless earbuds for a few years now, and I think they finally struck the balance between price, performance, and functionality. They come in a few different colors, and interesting enough, the USB-C case is all white, but once you open it up, then you'll see the color you purchased. Samsung sent me the olive color, and I'm not mad at that. I think it's a good looking color, but if that doesn't suit your fancy, there are other colors you can choose from. These buds to me still look like little beans you'd put in chili, but once they're in your ear, they contour to the shape perfectly. I guess in theory, but also in my case as well. Once you have them on, they become very low profile and nearly blend into your ear. They're 15% smaller than the Buds Pro and no ugly stems sticking out like the AirPods. Here's an audio sample from the Buds. As always, I'll love to hear feedback on what you think. Here's an audio sample of the Buds 2. Currently, I'm in my basement, and this is how it sounds. Here's another audio sample of me outside. There are birds chirping, no traffic at all, but I am walking around a little bit. So let me know how both of these sounds and if these are good enough for earbuds. I do think Samsung did a great job on making these comfortable for long wear sessions. On the AirPods Pro, I can't wear them longer than maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours stretching it without them hurting my ears. I've tested these buds in a 3-hour sitting session just in front of my computer working, and they were fine for all 3 hours. They actually sat in the ear and they didn't put pressure on the ear like I feel with other earbuds. These buds also come with active noise cancellation, which is a must-have for any wireless earbuds these days. If you're using an Android device, then you can install Samsung's app and you'll get fine-tuned control over these buds. The app is pretty solid. You can access the EQ presets, set up smart things to help you find the buds if you lose them, low latency mode for gaming, check the tips to make sure you have the right ones installed, the level of ambient sound you allow to come in, and you can decide what the taps on each earbud actually do. If you have iOS, you don't get any of this functionality at all. You're pretty much stuck with how they are out of the box, and at that point, you're losing half of what makes these buds actually good. So out of the box, there are a couple of things that makes it hard for some people to use these, and that would be someone who works out a lot. These are not made to get wet. They do have IPX2 sweat resistance, but if you're someone that sweats a lot or you're very active or maybe you want to walk around in these and it rains, and these are not made for that. Like, they're made to pretty much stay dry. I mean, a light sweat is fine, but I think if it's raining outside and you're walking around in them, it's a good chance that they may not make it through. Or if you're like me and you're kind of reckless and you leave them in your pants pocket and you put them in the washing machine, they're not gonna make it out. So let's move on to audio quality. For me, I think the sound is good. I'm not an audiophile, but I prefer a bassier sound as I listen to bass heavy music. The EQs can let you pick from a profile and they do change how the music sounds, but for me, default was perfect. Listening to the song Stay with Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber, it's a song that mixes bass and directional vocals. I think the Buds did a pretty good job with soundstage, which basically is the direction of where the audio is coming from. Other Buds can obviously do it better, but those are much more expensive. I think for a casual listening experience, these sounded great and I was actually happy with them. With a song like You Right from Doja Cat and The Weeknd, there are many atmospheric sounds that require a variety of highs and lows to push through, and I was pretty happy with the results. Once again, these are not made to be like an audiophile's dream, so of course the mids can get a little bit muddy. You may lose a couple of the mid vocals when there's a lot of bass going, but at the same time, I think for just casual listening, walking around, you'll be happy with how they sound. Battery life isn't as good compared to other Buds as well. I don't say battery life is bad, but it is below what we've been seeing so far. It does charge pretty quickly with the USB-C cable, so if you plug it in for about 10 minutes, you should be able to power through that next workout or maybe that next plane ride if need be. It also does not have wireless charging, which to me is kind of a bummer, but once again, we need to factor in pricing. Those wireless coils do cost money. And also you get 5 full hours of active noise cancellation turned on, and combine that with them being so comfortable, I actually can wear these longer than more expensive buds that may have 8 hours of battery life. If you turn off active noise cancellation, then they're rated for about 7.5 hours of usage. So if you don't need active noise cancellation, you can still get nearly a full workday you just wearing these. So with transparency mode, I did notice a couple of times where I start to hear over-processed sounds because transparency mode is sort of playing the outside sound through the earbuds. And there's a couple times where it sounded like gobbly. The outside sound was really gobbly, and it may have happened for 1 to 2 seconds and then it kind of went back to normal. But I've noticed that happening, I would say about 4 times in a week of me wearing these. Not a huge deal, but of course I have to mention it. Also, the same thing happened when I was on a phone call where the person talking to me sounded like a robot for a couple of seconds as well, but of course they came back and it sounded good again. Just a couple of weird things that may get fixed with a software update or firmware update, but I do have to mention it. For $149, these are a no-brainer for Android users, as once again, there is no iOS app that will give you better control. You know, majority of Android phones that are sold in America are Samsung phones, and so I always am a firm believer of matching the hardware together. So if you have, Apple phones, get AirPods. If you have a Samsung phone, then you get yourself Samsung Buds because they always seem to work better. And this right here is no exception. On the Z Fold 3 that I was using, they worked really great. They worked fine on the Pixel, but for just the Z Fold, for whatever reason, they connected that much faster and it just sounded better too. Maybe that was a placebo, who knows? Now at $149, there is some competition. You do have the Beats Studio Buds as well, which I've reviewed already. But for me, the Beats just weren't that great because they didn't have a great mic. And also as far as wearing them, they did apply pressure to the ear, which made it a little bit harder to wear all day. So if I had to pick between the two, I'm definitely going with the Buds, unless you are someone who's going to constantly work out. Anyways, guys, those were my thoughts. If you want to pick them up, hit the link down below. I get a little kickback. It just helps, keep the momentum going on this channel, getting more great products for you guys, upgrading stuff. So if you can support, that is a wonderful way of doing this. Anyways, guys, Kevin the Tech Ninja, have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Peace.